So, dear Dhamma practitioners, we're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. So, be comfortable to yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So, gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. So, while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to help you to give some information to develop your tranquility state in your mind, and also not only that, through that tranquility state to develop some wisdom within your own inner experience, which we call vipassana. So when it comes to this meditation techniques, always you have to remember, you have to learn to see the very information always within yourself. Don't look beyond you. Don't try to go away from your body. Always try to stay within your body. So when we do loving kindness meditation, we visualize regarding you and your family members or the village or the country or like that. So that is the different meditation method to develop the loving kindness. But here we going towards the inner awareness or analytical meditation to vipassana, to understand within ourselves. So mainly we keep our practice related to the inhalation exhalation. That is our master technique. So then always remember, the very information close to you, learn to observe that, see that, and don't put any condition on it. Always learn to see and recognize whatever there, whatever happening within the inhalation, exhalation, just see it. Don't try to make anything happen. Don't precondition your mind. It should be this way, it should be like that way. No, keep the total freedom and just simply allow inhalation, exhalation to happen. And when it happens, recognize. That recognition is the important. So when you recognize that, pajanati, knowingly you have to recognize. You are the observer, you observing, and out of that observing, you recognize it. This is what should make you clear inside you. As example, if you recognize something, and out of that recognition, there is a experience come to you. But if you don't know that how that experience happened to you, that means there is something missing. So what is that missing point is you didn't do it knowingly. That's why. So the pajanati is the Pali word. It's a meaning, very connotation, just to practice point of view. Remember, there are more other deeper meanings, but just to practice point of view, knowingly see it. You know that. You are the knower. So you knowingly, you see your own inhalation, exhalation. So in between that, when you start to see that way, in between you and the experience, there is no gap. So then little by little, what will happen? The experience itself become the observer. There is no separation. So while you practice in tranquility meditation, it brings the clarity. So then when there is no, listen this very carefully, when there is no gap or separation in between the experience happening and the experiencer or observer, there is no doubt. See how you come out of the doubt? Why? Because you knowingly experience it. That is the beauty of the mind. There is no any other animals can experience this, but you are capable to experience knowingly in that very moment. So for that, you cannot bring the past experience or the any future desires. So to come to the point to recognize experience it at the same moment and without any gap, to bring the total clarity and have the total clarity, you have to be in the moment. So that moment, you cannot cling. Maybe suddenly, as example, suddenly you feel completely 100% you connect to the moment of experience. In that very moment, maybe you feel kind of like a disappear from the body. You feel so light and you never experience it in your mind, your life. So you feel so comfortable, peaceful. It's like a very cold shower come to that the top of your head, you having so all over your body. It's kind of like a giving a different feelings. So, but maybe it disappear. So once it disappear, it become your past experience. So then you have to have the power, the strength to move forward without reminding the experience that you had. So that is what you have to practice moment by moment. Even the mind goes somewhere, you recognize, you come back to the moment, and you have to stay in the moment without thinking even any single moment where the mind went and why it happened to me, like that. So then what will happen? Moment by moment, moment by moment, your ability to stay in the moment going to become stronger. And the capacity, duration to hold it to that going to be stronger. So it is a natural process. So remember, now mostly I know because it takes time to understand that. It like we trying to do this. We trying deeply mentally do this, but trying to do it and allowing it to happen two different things. So little by little, you have to come to a point that you become a person, allow it to happen. It's an example, it like this. So with the newly born baby, the mother and the nurse, So the nurse also help for the mother for delivery, and then after that in the maybe few hours and or maybe few days, if the mother not recover well, the nurse take care of the child. But the nurse work for the salary, not for the child. See, it is different. So we are in nowadays this practicing meditation. This means practicing means we are kind of like that nurse. We do things. We have the great care, the loving kindness and compassion. We always do everything, but it is not real. We are. We have a different lifestyle, and then once a while we sit. But the mother is not like that. Mother and the child, there is no separation when it comes to the love, care, compassion. It coming from the mother, and it coming through the child. So there is no separation until that the baby become bigger. Once the baby become a young boy or girl, forget about that. It's a completely different story. But just the example, you have to understand that how the mother and the child keep the bond. Same like you and your awareness, your breathing, there is no separation. You don't do it for kind of like the nurse do it for salary, because you are itself your breath, you are itself your sensation, you are itself your awareness. That is the moment that you have to come. So when you come to that moment, there is nothing called practice. Why? Because the moment itself is your meditation. The sitting itself, meditation. It's not about long inhalation, short inhalation, beginning, middle. It's nothing to do. So whatever happened in that very moment, you recognize it. So that is where you go. But in the beginning, maybe you cannot do it like that way. So that's why we help you, so like, spoon feeding, or, how to feed for a baby, so it's kind of like little by little, little by little. So then yourself, but you have to, because I don't know what you're doing, behind this screen. I just talk to my own image, but I'm trying to give information. So you have to be honest to yourself. Now this is the moment you are the real master of you, not anybody else. You are your own responsible. You are your own teacher now. Because if you want, you can cheat. If you are lazy, you will do something. So like that. But when you sit, keep the honest to yourself, trust yourself. You do it for you, and you do your best for you, while at least while you practice, and that is where you gain these qualities. So then remember, day by day, your tranquility state going to become sharper, clear. And once the tranquility state becomes sharper and clear, what will happen? All five hindrances start to settle down. Kama chanda, so that's mean the desire, self-centered desires. That is where, that is who we are. From all our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, it's always we bound to this. That's the human nature. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you come to the one pointness, once you develop the tranquility state, it's naturally settled down. And the resistance or the anger or the firing nature within us, it's also going to settle down. And the laziness and the lethargic mind, so that also slowly settle down once you start to come to the tranquility state. and also the comparison with the self-centered mind, even regarding the past and the future, and the doubt regarding the practice, even regarding your own life or whatever happened. So even regarding your own thoughts, so this everything going to settle down. Why? Because in the moment, that's as I mentioned, pajanati, knowingly when you experience, there is no gap in between the subject and the object, or the experiencer and the what you experience. So then there's no doubt. You get out of this soul. Once you come to that level, then we slowly develop the vipassana level, analytical meditation or the panya bhavana. So when it comes to vipassana meditation, insight meditation, so deeply you go to your inner experience and now you're already there. Only thing is, slowly you have to be a little bit more sharp and clear to see what is happening and how this is happening. So now we know what to observe. So within your sensation or the feelings, so when you come to the point of feelings, your body slowly start to disappear mostly. This physical body not going to be like, it's called karya kaya, and this is not going to be kind of like a heavy 100, 200, 300 far the pound heavy body. It's not going to be like that. It become more soft and relaxed, and little by little that heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness start to synchronize with the nature. And then what will happen? Slowly, it you get out of the body. So the very purpose of vipassana meditation is recognizing impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness. So when it comes to the self, that we have an idea from the history, we have idea, this is me. So one thing is, I am the body, I am the pain, I am the awareness, I am the consciousness, I am this experience. So this is where I am exist. So now what is happened? Now you come to the sensation and the body disappear. Body start to go. Even though it exists there, mentally, you release from the body. Then you get out of what? The self. Why? Because this body is I am. Now you come to a point to know there is nothing. It is just a mentally that we hold it to this. So that's how you get out of the self. Because once you come to the sensation, and then there is no physical, and if once you recognize that and you see there is no self, if there is a self, then you're going to experience it, but totally you come to point to get out of this physical structure, this image. And not only that, once you keep focus to the sensation, now feelings, I am, this is me, my feelings represent me. So once you keep focus to the sensation, what will happen? The sensation also start to disappear. Only the mind going to be there. You start to see the thoughts. And according to the thoughts, according to the behavior of the thoughts, sensation disappear. So as example, when just ordinary in your in day-to-day life, if your mind is somewhere else, you talk thinking something, maybe somebody talk or somebody come and touch, you don't feel. See, because when the mind becomes stronger, the feelings. So now what will happen? While you're observing the sensation, you recognize sensation also disappearing, and you come to the next layer, the mind. And then what will happen? You get out of the self, the feelings. Why? Because the feeling representing self, and now you come to a point, oh, the body, there's nothing. And the feelings, there is no self, because you see now it arising, exist for a moment and disappear. In between that, there is no somebody in the middle and playing anything. Oh, I am, this is I am, love, like that. And then you come to the mind. Oh, thought, I am, this is my ideas. This is my awareness. This is my consciousness. So that then you get into the, we hold it to that also. So while you're observing the thoughts, what we're going to see, it's like clouds. The thought arise according to the phenomena or necessary conditions. So as example, it like this. So I feel so comfortable like this. So then maybe somebody open the door, or maybe you now feel so comfortable, no anything. So it is now you feel that comfortable thoughts, your mind so calm, relaxed, all the good thoughts come to you. You kind of like an angel now, you know. But suddenly somebody make a noise, and then that the divine nature disappear. Then you become, even you practice meditation, you become like a demon, who is making noise because I am practice meditation. So like that, see, you don't see the calmness, that sound make you calm, the the silence. You thought you are silence. No, your thoughts not silent, because thought depend on that silence. That's why the thought became so good. And when the sound come, that good thought disappear, and then the angry thought arise. Even that angry thoughts is the happen because of the sound. So it happened according to necessary conditions. It deeply you have to see and recognize within this all the four elements and the behavior of this physical structure, and the past experience, the thought, the tangle to this everything. So it take time, but it's still it is possible. So once you see this, how the thoughts change moment by moment, without any invitation it come, and it without any request it go. There is no any self in the middle maintain these thoughts. Then you get out of the the thought related self also. See how you become free from this self-centered mind. That is where the beauty of the vipassana meditation. So because it's mainly try to address to you to recognize there is no self. But it is not by intellectual, it is not by hearing or believing, following, you going to get into that idea. It is by your own self-experience, investigating and analyzing yourself, you're going to see it. That is where you're going to recognize the real wisdom. So in the beginning, little by little, just remember yourself, go with the information, the whatever available within yourself, and then tranquilize the mind and develop undisturbed mind. From there, little by little, go deeper to vipassana level, and we keep follow the sensation here. So once you come to the sensation, so in the beginning, in the vipassana level, drop all the details, be completely free from all the thoughts, and just focus to the sensation and follow the sensation and see how it change and unsatisfactory nature. That's always that whatever you feel also change according to that. And also in between this anything, there is no self, you will see as I explained little by little. So let's get into practice little bit. Your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself. Say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also, think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and then later observe the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the sensation available in your body. So deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation in front of your nose and upper lip area. And allow your inhalation and exhalation to happen itself. Just recognize. This is inhalation, this is exhalation. If you see something else, it is okay. You just observe it, what it is, and recognize. Otherwise, stay with the sensation and recognize inhalation, exhalation. Just get a mental note. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Also, you may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize it and totally accept with clear understanding. Bring your attention to the sensation. Just follow the sensation and see how it arises, existing and disappearing, and also following that impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness arise. Keep the continuation of your open mind, newness, without bounding to experience. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light and expand the capacity. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, as ordinary people, mostly our this spiritual practice sometimes bring us the wisdom, and sometimes it brings us difficulties, failures. When we look at the human history, sometimes most difficult times came to even entire human civilizations because of the religion. And there are a lot of people sacrifice their lives because of the believing system. And even today, when it comes to these young generations, and mostly day by day, people become kind of like pre-thinkers, and they afraid for the word religion. Why it happen like that way? Because it's a kind of like we misunderstand and misuse, and because of that, out of that practice, we get sabotage. Self sabotage is kind of like common everywhere, because the religion or the spirituality is the last thing that you can get the help in your life. That is the highest and final thing that you can harbor your thoughts. That is the final thing that you can clinging you within yourself. But still, when there is no the right result that come to you, or at least the peace, harmony, or tranquility state, if you cannot get, then what will happen? Then out of your life, naturally, all the disturbances going to come. And because of you, and then other people going to suffer. There is no way that thing that anything can fix you. So then it is very important when you practice this kind of things, you always have to be wise to make it very clear and keep it very clear rather than just go with whatever in your head. Always keep the open mind and start to look around and listen to other teachings and keep the freedom and develop your wisdom day by day, rather than closing down or rather than settling down within your own imagination. Get out of it. Otherwise, what will happen? Because little by little, yourself start to sabotage to yourself. So you have to get out of this. So then remember, this tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation is one of the most safest way. If you practice properly, it never going to bring any kind of sabotage to your life or to others. But at the same time, you have to remember that there are two ways. If you practice the right path, then it is good. But mostly humans are so different. Why? Because they have capacity to transfer anything the way they want. So then yourself, you have to remember, it is not like the you transfer the God the way you want, because each and every person have a God, their own version of God. But this meditation you cannot have like that way. It is only one version. That is the Buddha taught that version, and you have to get into that, giving up your self-centered idea. So if you surrender to that, that is why it is the faith or the conviction is very important. The trust that you build with the practice. That is where you give up the inside what you hold into. It is not easy. Why? Because that is make us more safe. And we are protected with whatever we hold within ourselves. So letting go it not easy. So that's why you have to learn the Buddha's character. All other enlightened masters' characters. When you see that, you will recognize they had the more harder time, lifestyle than you. They went through more difficult things in their life than you. So that is where you start to build up the trust. And they had the more question than you. They had more difficulties than you. They went through all the up and downs in this life, and still they attained to the enlightenment, and it shows how they went through that journey. So once you see that, then you become more comfortable to walk in this path. But if you don't know anything, just because of something that what you want, and if you try to develop it, it is very difficult. So that's why you have to learn the Buddha's character, and at least just the simple character. And you have, whenever you have time, you have to learn other enlightened masters and whoever came to Buddha during that time, whatever the conversation happened, whatever the lifestyle they had, just have a simple knowledge about it. It will open more wider space for you to enter to the path. It bringing you the confidence to walk in this path, and then you know where it goes, and you know how others transform through this journey. That is very necessary. So when you don't have, what will happen when you close within your own practice, and sometimes it sabotage to yourself. So then don't allow your spiritual practice, no matter whatever the religion you practice. It is a shame that when it come to us, the whenever our personal that up and downs emotions come to our life, and mostly we bring the religious name to in front of that, and we fight in hiding that our emotions, we bring the religious seal, and then we fight. And everybody thinks, oh, they fight for the religion, they fight for the nation. No, they fight for their own inner emotions. Because when you learn the religion, when you know the religion, there is no way that you can go against any other human beings or any other living beings. There is no way. Any religion, that when you look at the history and how it came, and if you look at the journey that went through, then you recognize it is something beyond that what you think or what you believe. So when it comes to the, especially when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, it brings you kind of like a wider wisdom or clear understanding regarding you and other living beings, and the connection that you have, how your life happen like this way. So the mostly when you practice vipassana, there is some transformation happen in you. So this is what, remember this in your life. Because mostly we try to observe impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. And also there is a thing that you recognize arising, existing and disappearing. So impermanent, it's mostly kind of like a disappearance, but it giving you complete understanding. Why? It giving you arising, how it arises. Because once you know that, you become completely different person. Mostly in day-to-day life, when things happen to us, why we become more disappointed, unhappy, why we go mad, the most powerful ignorance is because we don't know how this happened. Even regarding our own life, we practice inhalation, exhalation, but look at how your life happened, and how you came here, and how you exist like this, and what kind of things, how the nature help you to be like this. Once you know that itself, there is nothing to observe the inhalation, exhalation. Why? Because you're going to see it, you recognizing. Then there is no need any campaigns to to teach people about the global warming. Why? Because they're recognizing, oh, this nature is our life. Otherwise, we cannot live like this. So mostly we forget how we happen, how we came to this point. And even in day-to-day life, we forget how so far other people help us, how our journey happened like this way. We don't see it. But when you practice the vipassana, it giving you clear understanding more than the disappearance or the change, it giving you total 100% understanding how things arising. That is where you come to kind of like a clear, total clarity to recognize. Because once you see how things arise, there is a wisdom you're going to gain. We're losing it as a human being. We're losing, and now we come to point to, we claim this is my life, I do whatever I want, you know. So we just became like that now. What we forget, how we came to this point. If you see deeply, it's kind of like you get from birth to this point, you get a bird eye view, and you see kind of like how the navigation show you the road, you see from like the satellite view. If you look your own life from birth to this point, how you came, you see, you kind of like you kind of like a dust, because we didn't do anything that much. We got nourished because of other people. Other seen, unseen things help us to come to this point. So we're losing that. But the vipassana is a method. It bringing back to your heart, deeper bottom of your heart. You start to touch that wisdom. That is where your transformation going to happen. So if you cannot get that knowledge or understanding, your spiritual practice going to become miserable. So don't bring that misery to yourself, because the spirituality is so innocent. It is so beautiful, and it is so wise. So don't destroy that. So then what you have to do while you practice yourself, because it need to come through you. So then while you practice it, you have to bring that quality within yourself. That is the only path has power to transform the human heart. Spirituality. Even though there is the argument regarding the connotation of the spirituality, because it came after 1,000 years, kind of like that. But now today we have that word. So that is the meaning of our spirit, head to toes, this all eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind experience. And if you come put that everything together, that you gain the 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 final result is your spirit. So then remember how you develop it, rather than you get suffer out of it. So this is how to escape from self-sabotage through your spiritual practice. So the very first thing, while you practice, you have to develop that undisturbed mind. It means distractions. So a spiritual practice is a very sensitive. Why? Because you get distracted. So then when you walk in this path, remember the distractions mean, don't think that it is something coming from outside. No, the distractions mean it is coming from inside you. So then when it comes to tranquility meditation, we always talk undisturbed mind. So in day-to-day life, then how you can practice it yourself physically. Remember, don't distract to anything. Don't distract. If you try to practice that little bit, you will see, be gentle with the material things. Don't distract. And then get it to as a mental quality to yourself. So one should develop that. Itself, you find a peace in your heart and you develop very comfortable life. But you have to practice it. Just by knowing or thinking about it doesn't work. So in day-to-day life, always remember the most difficult part is thoughts, dealing with our own thoughts. So then come to a point, never indulge or never nourish your unwanted thoughts. Don't think. Don't think. If it is come to you, you know this thought, doesn't make any sense. If it is unprofitable, don't think. So mostly these unnecessary thoughts hijack our mind, and it has power to sabotage to you. It can destroy you, it can destroy your family, it can destroy anything. Unnecessary thoughts. So then remember yourself every day. When something comes to your mind, it is not about meditation. In day-to-day life, ordinary lifestyle, whatever come to you, and just get out of it. Just don't think even twice. Get out of it. Be hard on you. Never give a chance to come to your head it again and again and again, and always in your head, blah, 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 something going on. No, get out of it. If it is unnecessary, get out of it. And how you can recognize how it is unnecessary? Look, if it is bring the trouble, difficulties, sadness, worry, or doubt regarding something, that is unnecessary. So it is mostly our thoughts. There is nothing else. There is no any other miracles. Once you recognize to how you can get out of your unnecessary thought, you win your life. Remember that. This all the teachings finally try to take to our thoughts. That is it. Otherwise there is no place that you can that can heal your life. There is no any power can heal your life. There is no someone can initiate you and transform you to wisdom. No, this everything try to help you to get into your own thoughts by yourself and change that thoughts. Once you done it, you done the journey. So then always remember, get out of the distractions. That distractions mean your own thoughts, not something else. And once you see that, there is no way the inner disturbance is going to happen. The second one, emotions. So the emotions always related to your past experience. So the past experience and always in the current and try to move forward. So your past experience has the current that you create through your thought, thinking about your future and your feelings or the desire and to repeat. So in that way, what will happen? The emotions start to flow. This means the energy means your past experience, the memory, and then now you have desire. It's like a two magnet. In between that, the power start to suck each other. So same like the past experience already have the feelings that you gathered and you remind it, and then at the same time you create your future and to repeat that. So it is kind of like a same kind of powerful magnet you keep in both sides. Then what will happen? Energy start to in move. So energy in motion, it's the emotions happen. There is nothing else other than that. So then remember, when it comes to the spiritual life, And sometimes we use this spiritual life to cover up our emotions rather than going to it and see it, go to the middle, go to the epicenter of the that emotions and see it is nothing, it is just the thought. Rather than that, what will happen? The mostly we try to cover up. Don't do that. Why? Because if you do it, what will happen? It's going to have that the self-sabotage going to happen. So it is spiritually, even in conventional life, that be more wiser, a matured person in day-to-day life. And rather than putting your emotion in front and bring the wisdom, cause and effect, cause and conditions, and look around and see and try to understand necessary conditions around the situation and try to go with it. That is how you become matured. But mostly we fail. You know, we become older, but emotionally we prisoners to the same kind of things. But you have to change it yourself. You can do it. You can do it, and when you do it, you feel more different and you feel more peace and you feel more confident within yourself. Always when you become free from emotions, remember it never going to take you to any difficulty or any unhappiness. So then always remember, rather than covering up the emotions, go into it. And when something come to you, and look yourself, question yourself, even when something happen around you, and look what are the reasons. Don't put the emotions. So when you become matured, you're able to handle it. So then you have to use it in day-to-day life. But if you become more emotional and you again and again you allow it to happen, what will happen? And one day it can sabotage you. So don't allow it to happen. Because once the spiritual practices start to sabotage, there's no way that you can get help. So that's why while you're going through this practice, you have to know this information and you have to work for that. And the third thing is arrogant. So the arrogant is sometimes we think, oh, I deserve this. I deserve this. I own this. So like that way, we become with the self-centered, that the self-centered deserver. No, I am the one who need that. So I am the one who qualified that. So like that way. So this can happen little by little while you practice yourself. So don't allow it to happen. Don't be arrogant with the self-centered mind. And always, that's why when you see how things begins, how things start, you become more humble person rather than becoming arrogant. Oh, I am the husband, I am the wife, I am the child, oh, I am the parents, I am the one who doing this, I am the one who is spending, I am the one who go to market and buy every day. So like that always, we try to become arrogant. No, don't do that. Why? Because you're accumulating. You're accumulating the strength to sabotage yourself. It is the thought, that's it. But once it come like that way and start to attack you, there's no way to can get help. So then always remember, be humble. No matter what, be humble. Whatever the situation come, be humble and think it as an opportunity for you. So when you have to do something, and remember, never look for reward and always see. You practice it, you do it to brush up yourself, and you look yourself and see how capable you are to perform that. That's it. And even when it comes to the games, even when it comes to sports, even when it comes to your personal life, Even when it comes to your spiritual life, even you come to you sit for meditation, it is not you looking for something. You just look how capable yourself. Can you just experience what is happening? That's it. So once you come to that point, and you will see how you release from this all the tangles. But if you become with the self-centered, then what will happen? One day, it's going to bring you hard time. And the fourth one is fixed mindset. Never have a fixed mindset. So even when somebody attain to enlightenment, the one of the beautiful quality that you can recognize through an enlightened master, they don't have a fixed mindset. But sometimes in conventional life and according to some situation, people appreciate that, think it is good. But you have to be more matured than that. Remember, even when it comes to the human history, that every day law and everyday information becoming new. Why is that? Because that means whatever that had in the past is not the right things. The same like when it comes to our day-to-day life, remember this ancient wisdom that we lose, and sometimes our personal ideas we replace with that, and because of that thing, a lot of things went wrong way. But when it comes to this practice, we trying to get into the bottom, and we try to get into the real organic wisdom information. So that's why every day I try to share it with you. So then yourself, when you see it, when you practice it, you recognize it. So then that if you have the very fixed mind, you're going to be a very difficult person. Why? Because as you know, everything always change. So if everything always change, how you can have a fixed mindset? Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Look at that how the people used to talk about, how the astrologers used to talk about when 2000 end of the 2019, and they used to talk about with the every all the good things regarding 2020. See what happened? No one knew what happened. And then to still today, no one knows, where this is going to end. So that is the very nature of life. It every day happen. It is just not only for one day. It every day happens. But only thing what you have to develop, the wisdom, the clarity. Keep clear your mind. Whatever situation come, you go with it. Rather than having a fixed mind. So that's why when it comes to vipassana, see, I always tell you, keep the clarity, newness within yourself, freshness within yourself. Don't get into past experience, and keep that freedom within yourself, even in day-to-day life. As a husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, brothers, sisters, look yourself. When you look at your husband, when you look at your wife, when you look at your children, you look at them with your fixed mind. That's why a lot of things go wrong. So that you look at them with the memory, then you don't see that person. But if you get out of that all, and just remember, if you, it doesn't matter how old you are, that if you can see your husband or wife like the very first day that you saw that person, that it's going to bring something to you. So it's a moment of living. That is the truth. It is not a kind of like we planning this or that or like that. We planning to go ahead a long journey. It's a moment of living. But when that moment of living become very, very clear, that clarity bring you the wisdom to see as far as you want. Even you can see what going to happen next life, if there is a way. So that the clarity that come to you. So then always remember, never get into a fixed mind in any condition, in any situation. So that is the beauty of your human mind. That is where you're going to get the, the strength out of this. So how to get out of the self-sabotage and distraction? Never allow your own thoughts to distract you. That means get out of the unnecessary thoughts. And the second one, emotions. Don't allow your emotions to hijack your life. So be matured with that. And arrogant. So never be an arrogant person, or never have a kind of like the the self-centered desire or thinking, oh, I deserve this, and always be a humble person. The fourth one, never have a fixed mindset and always be like the water. And according to necessary conditions, you change. It doesn't matter what. According to behalf of the good, and you change. It doesn't matter whatever you have to give up. You become like that person. That make you strong. That make you a better person, not others. So then maybe you become example for that them, and then they will learn. But this all help you to become more comfortable person inside you. In the Buddha's life, there is the story called Pancha Yuddha. Like in our country, in Sri Lanka, when uh, for a newly born babies, they put a little pendant, or maybe from they made it from copper or gold. If you have some money, they make it from gold. So in the Panchayuddha, the story come like this. There was the prince, and when that prince born in the palace, that all the astrologers came and they read his horoscope and told this child going to become very strong and powerful, and he going to become a warrior. So it is better that when the necessary time come, you send the child and teach all the skills how to fight. So then the time came, and the father, the king knew this, and then he sent the child to the best teacher to learn all the skill to fight with the weapons. And then this child masters five weapons. So the Panchayuddha means five weapons. And for newly born babies in Sri Lanka, we put this all the weapons in that little pendant. So one is bow and arrow, one weapon. Another one is the sharp sword. Another one, it's kind of like a boomerang. It's like with the sharp edge, the iron circle. And the fourth one is the club. It's kind of like a heavy iron or wooden, kind of like a hammer. So those are the four things. But there are no five weapons, but it called Panchayuddha. There should be five. So the story like this: this child went and the teacher called Disa Pamuk, and this child learned this. He became young, and at the same time he mastered this all the four weapons. And so then on the way, now he finished the school and everything, and on the way, suddenly what happened? There was a demon appeared, huge, very strong demon. And then this boy had all four weapons, and he didn't afraid for anything. And he felt so confident. So what he did, he started to fight with the bow and arrow and the sword and the iron wheel and the club. So somehow, and he did, so he, with that all the weapons, he jumped to this giant demon's body, chest, and hold. So the demon told, oh, now it is very easy. You came very close to my mouth. Now I can eat you. So this boy told, yeah, if you can try, you can eat me. Try and do you know if you eat me, what will happen to you? So the demon asked, what will happen to me? You will die. So the boy told, I will die, but you also have to die. So the demon asked, how I going to die? Because the boy told, because I have this all the four weapons in my hand. So if you eat me, you're going to eat this all the four weapons also. And then you're going to die. So the demon thought about this, and more than the 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 anger, and he saw this boy how calm, how confident. And then the demon thought, oh, that's true also, but I like to listen to you because I see you don't afraid and you don't have fear, you are so confident. So I never saw any human being like this. So then what happened? The demon took that boy to the ground and told, and you are a gift for this entire humanity. And from today, I become your servant. So let me do whatever whatever the command, and let me fulfill it for you. So from that day, the demon became the the servant for this boy. And this heard everybody. And the very first thing, that everybody used to afraid for demon. But this guy, the very first thing what he did, rather than conquering any other human beings or the country or the king, he just conquered the demon. And this news went everywhere. The father heard that and right away told, oh, if you conquer the demon, so that's mean it's nothing to do with this kingdom. You are the king. So he got the kingdom also. So that's the fifth weapon, that in that little pendant that it missing. It's just only four weapons. So fifth the weapon is the wisdom. There is no any weapon can conquer that weapon. So then always remember yourself. We get the help. We depending from these material things, and we try to get the help from the weapons or the martial art or the many other ways. But the real weapon is the wisdom. And not only for the humans, it has power to conquer the demons also. So sometimes, even though we are human beings, your husband can become kind of like a demon, your wife can become like a demon, your children can become, nowadays it happens, your children can become like demons, and your parents can become like demons. And maybe you see suddenly your neighbor become kind of like a demon, and your brothers sisters can be kind of like a demon. But remember, keep the wisdom in you, and that is the only way that you can conquer that. And you suffered because of them, their behaviors, because you didn't use that weapon in you. You have it, but you didn't use it. But now start to use it. So when you start use that, you have the confidence, you have the clarity, so you become more humble person, and unseen, seen, that demons also respect for that. So then yourself remember and take this wisdom with you. From today, for whatever any condition come to your life, and keep the wisdom sharp yourself. So what is that wisdom? And recognize the necessary conditions around that situation. That is what you need. For that, you have to have the clear mind. So when you have that, your mind always become the bliss. It never going to disturb, or it never going to have the self sabotage to yourself. That is where you become free, and that is where you become qualified person to go with the society. And in this journey, one day you will fulfill your practice, and you will transform from this level to your higher level, which we call ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So, with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. එත්තාවතාච අම්මේහි සම්පදං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ දේවානුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා සබ්බේ භූතානුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා සබ්බේ සත්තානුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා ඉදම්මේ පුඤ්ඤ කම්මං ආසවක්කයා වං හෝතු සබ්බ දුක්ඛා පමුංචතු. Bless you.